If you follow runners on Strava or maybe on Instagram or Twitter, or maybe you've got real friends in real life who run as well, yes, some of us do, then you'll probably have heard talk of recovery runs. But do you really know what they are and how to do them? I'm Anna, and today on the Running Channel, I'm going to be going through everything that you need to know about recovery runs, what they are, how to do them, and why to do them as well. First off though, if you're new around here, we upload new videos every week to the Running Channel, so please make sure that you subscribe and tap the bell icon so you get notified when we do. Recovery runs are usually defined as a shorter, easier run that's done within 24 hours of a harder session. So that could be intervals, maybe on a track, or a really taxing tempo run, or perhaps a really long run. Basically any kind of session that's going to put extra stress on your body. So when you do your recovery runs is entirely dependent on your own schedule, but as an example, you might do a recovery run on a Monday if you've done a really long run on the Sunday. If you're already doing quite high mileage, then you may end up doing a recovery run in the afternoon or evening after doing a harder tempo session, for example, in the morning. So in terms of regularly scheduling in recovery runs to your workouts, it might be that if you're already running 4 times a week or more, that you have those recovery runs planned in. If you're running 3 times a week or less, then there's probably less of a need to put those recovery runs in, because those 3 workouts will be super targeted. But listen to your body and do what's best for you. If you're feeling a bit tired or sore after those runs, it might be time to throw in a recovery run. Now, when you wake up with stiff legs and feeling tired, you might well question the wisdom around going out for a run to make yourself feel better. So a 20-minute jog can make your legs feel looser and give yourself a little bit more energy. But if you really do feel completely zonked, then absolutely fine to take a rest day and put those feet up. We're not saying that recovery runs are going to fix everything, so it's totally fine to take a rest day. You are the best judge of your own body, so listen to it and do what you think is best. But it used to be thought that going for a recovery run can flush out lactic acid from your body, but in reality, and looking at the scientific studies behind it, that's not actually the case, because after a hard session, lactic acid levels return to normal within about an hour. So with recovery runs, they can loosen up your legs. But what do they actually do? Running really easily can help bring body adaptations to both your muscular and cardiovascular structure. You might not be flushing out lactic acid, but you are bringing blood flow to the muscles, which can really help. You'll also be doing these recovery runs in a fatigued state, and there's evidence to suggest that working out in this fatigued state can help increase your fitness. Because you're already feeling tired, pushing through that, even though you're running slowly and easily, can really help boost your fitness levels, which is why recovery runs are done in a fatigued state to help you improve your fitness. So the most common questions about recovery runs are how far and at what pace you should be running them. And the answer there is it really doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. You need to go on feel with recovery runs, so it needs to feel easy. So it should never ever be too fast or too long that it compromises your next key run. Personally, when I go out for a recovery run, I don't even take my watch, or if I do, I don't look at it, because pace really doesn't matter when it comes to recovery runs. So set yourself a time, maybe go out for 20 minutes or half an hour, but never ever get hung up about the pace of a recovery run. You should be able to easily hold a conversation at the pace that you're running recovery runs. So sure, your legs might feel a little bit stiff and sore, but the actual pace and the feel of it should feel easy. So sometimes I might even make a phone call while I'm doing the run, because then I know that I can talk at the same time as running, which is the ideal pace for a recovery run. Sometimes it takes a mile or 2 for your legs to really start feeling okay in a recovery run. That's absolutely normal, and don't use it as license to add a little bit extra on because you feel okay. That's not the point of recovery runs. Sometimes as runners we might feel embarrassed or self-conscious for running slower, but you really don't need to worry about the pace for recovery runs. Follow the example of the elite Kenyan runners. The Kenyan shuffle runs that they do are often around 11 to 12 minutes per mile pace, so follow their example. They kind of know what they're doing. One thing to be aware of though is when you are running slower, your form can change. So just make sure that you're picking your feet up, keep that cadence going as well. And don't forget to just make sure that you're running in a way that you're feeling comfortable. Don't let your form be affected. If you're now wondering what the difference is between recovery runs and easy runs, well, it all comes down to how you feel on the day. Sometimes the pace that you run your recovery runs at may end up being faster than what you would run an easy run at, and vice versa. It really depends, which is why, as I keep saying, recovery runs are not reliant on your pace, so don't get hung up on it at all. So with an easy run and a recovery run, what you should be thinking about is that your recovery run is to aid your recovery. So a longer run at a slower pace is still going to stress your body out because you're doing extra miles. Likewise, a shorter run but run at a faster pace is going to stress your body out too. Recovery runs need to be somewhere in the middle where they're not too long, they're not too short, they're not too fast, and they are pretty slow. So think of recovery runs as a completely different gear to easy runs. They are more like very easy. However, if all of this sounds horrible to you and you really can't face the idea of getting out for a run once you're tired from your harder sessions, then that's absolutely fine as well. Why don't you try going for a bike ride, or you could go for a swim, or even just a walk. Anything to get those aching legs moving will help with your recovery. There's no point in doing something labelled as recovery if you don't want to do it or you don't feel like it's going to help you recover. So hopefully we've given you a good idea of what recovery runs are and when you should be doing them. Please leave your comments below for suggestions of future videos you'd like to see on the running channel, and we'll see you next time.